So I'm actually 3 weeks into this plan. I know I put a video out last week. I'm going to break down my training over the last couple of weeks to show you what sessions I've been doing and how I plan to break 18 minutes for the 5k. So I'm quickly going to bring you up to date on the work so far in the sub-18 5k training block. Following the Great North Run, I got out a few times initially with the intention to push on with training and go straight into the next goal. First up was a short recovery run at an easy pace, and then on the following day I intended to get out for another steady effort. However, I was joined on this run by my friend Gaz, and an easy trail plod quickly turned into a challenging effort when a couple of wrong turns had us clocking over 1,000 feet of elevation. I'm not sure if it was this run in particular, but in the days following that, I picked up on the early signs of a burnout, so I made a decision to pull back on the training in order to recover fully. I've identified that I do need to take mental breaks from chasing goals and training in order to restore some balance in other areas of my life. So after a couple of days rest, I finished off the recovery week just with a few easy miles on the Sunday. 6.3 miles was enough. I then took another rest day on the following Monday. So the next run I got out on, and the first track session of this block was 10 times 400 metres with a 75-second rest. Again, I took another rest the day following that, and after watching a video from Two Running Brooms where they was discussing the HAD method, I was inspired to go out and try some heart rate training. So I got out on the Friday and reintegrated hill sprints into my workout. So it was 10 times up Oak Hill with a 90-second walk recovery. Next up was Saturday. We did a total of 7.6 miles, and again, inspired by the HAD method, I was trying to now work my high aerobic zone. So this is the zone just before threshold for me, 155 to 160 beats per minute. And then on the Sunday, I decided again to stick with the HAD method for Sunday's run. So the run was a 10-minute warm-up, 71 minutes at 140 to 145, and that's just above zone 2 for myself. I felt like it was a nice controlled and comfortable run, and I was also quite happy with the pace on this. So next up, Monday the 22nd, again I took another rest day as I ran for a few days solid leading up to that. The speed session I did on the Tuesday is the session that I covered in the first video. 12 400 metres with 60-second recovery with a warm-up and a cool-down. The following day, a total of 7.2 miles, with an out and back run, a nice controlled, mild aerobic. I then rested on the Thursday and then on to Friday, back on the hill repeats. This time we did 45 seconds up times 10 and a 90-second walk down. Saturday was threshold. I did 3 times 8 minutes with a 3-minute jog recovery. Now, following this session on the Sunday, I did actually feel a little bit run down. I was a bit under the weather. I was debating just having a rest altogether, but I decided to get out and just do a short and easy run. Nice and easy. We did 4.41 miles at 9:12 minute mile pace. So this brings us up to this week's training. So following the run on Sunday, again, we took Monday as a rest day, and Tuesday track session started with a 2-mile warm-up. Just over 2 miles for the warm-up, average pace of 8-minute miles. I then did 6 times 800 metres and 4 times 200 metres. So the 800 metre rep was around about the 5k goal pace. We had a 75-second standing recovery, and then we did 4 times 200 at quicker than 5k pace with a 60-second recovery. So I'm just going to check in with me now on this session. So today's session was 6 times 800 meters, around about 5k goal pace, and 4 200 meters at quicker than 5k at the end of that as well. Rep 1. Last rep. Sorry, so yeah, that was my last 800 rep. I've got 4 times 200 meters, 60-second recovery. So we've got 15 seconds now, and we're going to do our first 200. I don't know how that's going to work with this in my hand. I very rarely run with a pole. We'll see how it goes. Man, whew. You're only getting 1 rep with a pole. That was like a sprint. So on the last video, I basically highlighted where I was at in the year and what my goals are for the end of the year. In this video, I'm going to give a rough idea of how we're going to get there. So what I noticed in training for the half marathon block, I expected the extra aerobic fitness to help me with the 5k, and what I found is, because all the training I was doing was around about half marathon, so the interval reps was longer reps, but I wasn't really going at sort of all out 5k pace. I'd say I got to around about 10k pace in my reps. So when it came to sort of 5k and then part runs, where I could quite easily consistently get 20 minutes, but I wasn't really pushing on from that. So the focus of this training is doing the short, faster reps. The following day we did a 4.5 mile at a steady pace, back to hill repeat reps on the Friday. This time we did 10 hill repeat reps at 5k effort pace, and we'll just catch in with me now on Friday as we're doing the hill reps. Good morning. It's Friday. It's around about 6:30 a.m. So the dark mornings are back, and today's session is hill repeats. So 10 hill repeats around about 5k pace, and it's in a little loop on the estate near me. It's quite a steep hill, Oak Hill, so it'd be 10 times up around about 5k pace, and then recover probably around about 2 minutes of recovery, but it's going to be jog recoveries today. No walk recoveries, jog recovery, and then back up again, 5k pace. Definitely a morning runner. I couldn't imagine doing a 10, 11 hour day at work, driving home, getting home. I'm running every evening. I have done it when I've got up some mornings and I've been particularly tired or I've not slept well. Occasionally I've told myself that I'll get it done later, or I've had to be at a site particularly early for work, so it's meant I've had to set off at a really early time. I've moved the session over to an evening session, but if I can, if there's no major rush in the morning and I can still get out early, if I can get out at 6, half 6 in the morning to do a session, I will.
I think it sets you up nicely for the day. Approaching the final rep now, so one more go up Oak Hill, then onto the cool down. There's the hill we're approaching. Done. So we're just on the cool down now. I'll put the stats for this workout here.
So I decided Saturday I was going to take it easy. I did an hour and 20, so it was 8.8 miles at a really easy pace.
So this week's long run has been brought forward to Saturday. Usually do my long run on Sunday, but I'm busy. I've got an early start tomorrow, so don't know if it's picking up the wind. We're running in Storm Amy, so a little bit windy. It's picking up a little bit now. Got two watches on, trying these on watch out again. So yeah, today's run, the Saturday long run, keeping the intensity low, so it's a low zone 2. The reason for that is because I've switched today's run with Sunday, and the run that I'd usually do on a Saturday would be a threshold effort. I don't want to take too much out of my legs because I want tomorrow to be a quality session. So really easy run today, just a little plod. Got the trail runners on, the trail trainers. It's wet, windy, just taking it nice and easy. So it's now Sunday and we're out doing the threshold session today to move things around. Like I said, I did my long run on Saturday. I'm going to get my threshold in today. Planning to do 5k at threshold. I've brought these on watch because I think that gives a more accurate heart rate. The Garmin's prone to fluctuations. So yeah, still a little bit of wind. I thought the storm was supposed to be over by Saturday, but Storm Amy is still lingering. So I'll get this warm up done now, 5k of threshold, and then yeah, see where we're at. So we're starting the 5k threshold now and picking up the pace. So we're going to gradually work up to threshold, not go straight at it, and then try and hold it for the 5k. So 5k threshold rep done, and felt good on that. So I think we was just over 19 minutes, so probably the fastest 5k I've done in a while, and that's just in an interval session at threshold effort. So I worked up to threshold. I was in for the first sort of 3k, my heart rate was around about 155 to 159, which is high aerobic / tempo for me. Threshold starts about 160, and it wasn't until I got into that 4th kilometre that started to get into the 160s. But I felt strong, better than I felt on a lot of my recent efforts, so it's a good sign. Already 3 weeks in, fastest 5k in a threshold session. Signs are looking good. I'd say I'm probably now at sub 19 5k, you know, at a push, maybe 18:45 or something like that. So we'll see how we get on. So yeah, it was an early one today. Had to get out early. Big day ahead, and a bit of a surprise in store for people watching. Stay tuned, because the next video after this, it's going to be a good one.